Welcome back to Daily Connections. On my next vacation, I'm looking for a destination that will soothe my spirit, electrify my mind, and challenge my body. If you're looking for the same, then we're in luck. Patt Osborne, the self-proclaimed adventure coach and owner of AdventureCoach.com, is here to talk about the latest trend in retreats that offer something more than your normal vacation. I love this. I live for traveling, I live for vacations, and I love this idea. Pat, tell me a little bit about what makes adventure retreats different from regular getaways.
Well, I think the most important thing is that most folks are going away on vacation just to get away, get rid of their work situation, just chill on the beach with a pina colada or whatever. What I like to do, as in my training as a life coach, I like to invite folks to come out and not only get that relaxation aspect, a very important part of vacation, but also to have a chance for some physical activity that's guided, some guided physical activity, and even more important than that, guided self-exploration.
Interesting. So we've got the idea here, I guess, is that the traveler ends their vacation however long it might be. I mean, day
Often
two.
it's a day or two, maybe just an afternoon.
Interesting.
A little mini retreat getaway.
I love that.
And then as long as 5 or 6 days.
And then at the end of this, how do they feel as compared to a normal vacation?
Totally re-energized, reinvigorated, ready to go back into their regular life with some ideas, some shifts that they've made about what they want to do next in their life.
Now, it sounds like for something like this, you'd need to be led by something other than a traditional tour guide.
Right. I don't consider myself a guide, a tour guide, so to speak. I'm the coach. I'm the life coach, helping them. That's where my training is, helping folks figure out, okay, here's where I am, here's where I want to be, how do I close the gap to get there? And so that's what we do on these retreats.
But such a great idea, because oftentimes you're thinking about life coach, I'm thinking about going into an office and kind of sitting down with somebody, or maybe having them come to my home. But this idea of being able to be out and doing something physical, possibly exploring something, whether it be a river or something like that, and at the same time having you work with them on whatever it is that might be troubling them or concerning them at the moment. That just sounds like such a great idea. Give me some examples of some of the adventure retreats that you've done before.
Absolutely. A large part of my retreat series have to do with hiking. Hiking in my local area, in the New Jersey Pines. But also, there's kayaking involved in some of the retreats, canoeing involved in some of the retreats. This summer I did a zip line with folks that was really very interesting. Another thing that we did was parasailing over the ocean.
And there are organizations across the nation that now are life coaches who are putting together retreats such as this with activities and ideas and the idea of coming back not only relaxed but invigorated with life.
Absolutely, yeah. Re-energized. Yep.
Now, so what type of person might enjoy an adventure retreat?
I would say mostly anyone who's in some sort of transition. And not necessarily that, but anyone in a transition who may be in a situation where they're ready to leave the successful job that they're in to find something that they're passionate about.
Okay.
Or maybe they've been in a relationship change. Or maybe they're an empty nester and they're trying to figure out what's next for them now that their children are on their own. Even retirees, the active retirees that are looking for something new.
So how does the activities that you plan help them with that process? Give me some examples. You know, what goes on?
For example, a topic of a retreat, a hiking retreat, a day-long hiking retreat or kayaking retreat I might do, might focus on new beginnings. That might be the topic. So I'll take the folks out. I'll get some ideas early on from them, maybe in an email prior, about where they are in their life and where they want to make some positive changes. It's all about positive, not the negative. But focusing on the positive. We'll go out on a hike, we'll get together as a group, during that hike at lunchtime and talk about, okay, what are some new beginnings that you want to make happen in your life? And then I go into my coaching mode. And that's when I ask some really deep questions of all of the participants, and they can choose to either...
What types of deep questions? What kind of discussion?
It might be, okay, so what's working for you now? We'll have some conversation around that. What's the challenge? What's the energy drainer that's occurring for you now in your personal life or your professional life?
So discussion's a big part of this adventure as well. And
not
working in a group
Absolutely,
environment.
the group environment. Sharing. And also what I think is a really strong, important component is the self-reflection time that I give to each of the participants alone, by themselves. I encourage them, not only do I encourage them, I really, really push it to have some
force them.
Oh, I force them.
Take some peace and quiet. Oh,
yeah,
that's important
yeah. During that retreat, whether it's a day long or a weekend thing or a 5-day, each day or each afternoon, there's that component of quiet, alone time to follow up on some of the discussion that we have, to do some journaling and so forth.
So journaling's another tool that you might use.
Absolutely.
And why the combination? Like, why did you find this to be so effective, having this combination of activity, destination, and the life coaching segment along with the, I mean, there's so much going on there, so many different...
There is.
Why did you find this effective?
What I find effective is when folks are in some sort of transition or trying to figure out a positive change that they want to make. I find personally getting out in nature helps that. Nature, the gorgeous, peaceful environment of a nature setting is a wonderful way to find clarity in whatever it is that you're focused on.
It's true. When I'm upset with something, I'll find myself going for a walk. I find being out. There was a lake, I remember growing up behind my parents' house, and I'd just go out there and I'd sit, and you'd feel more grounded.
Yeah. And that's exactly what it is. I mean, that's what it is for me. And that's in my life coach practice. I knew that beyond working with one-on-one clients that I do, I wanted to get people outdoors because I knew for me what clarity, what focus I got when I was outside. And I thought, I'd love to be able to have this for other folks too.
Yeah, now do adventure retreats, because this sounds fabulous, have specific events for different topics? Meaning if I know I'm going through something specific right now, might I be able to find specific adventure retreats targeted at that?
I think what you would do if you were looking for something like this, you'd look at the physical activity that you'd be interested in.
That's the first thing to address.
Yeah.
All right.
Like maybe you're someone that enjoys hiking. Maybe you're someone that enjoys kayaking. Maybe you're someone that enjoys something a little bit more with some adrenaline, like the parasailing.
Now, is it okay if this is a first time experience for someone? Like, never been kayaking before, but it sounds like fun. Is this okay to start it out and to try it?
And that's a good question, yes, because for the kayaking, I do them on varying levels. I run a beginner's kayaking retreat. I run an intermediate and so forth. Something like the parasailing, anyone can do that from age 10 to 99. So
that's fun. That's one I haven't tackled yet. That's a lot of fun. And I guess too, that's a great one. I know you had your parasailing is one that you do, and that addresses fears. People who want to conquer their fears. Correct?
Yeah. This summer I did a 2-part series, and I'll do that next summer too. A 2-part series retreat, Face Your Fears, and we talked about at lunchtime what are the fears that you have, and not only physical fears, but fears of changing a job or whatever. And so the best way to not only deal with that fear by talking about it, but challenge yourself.
And I love the fact that you are surrounded by other people who are going through that same challenge. Talk to me a little bit about how they connect with each other, the members in your group.
Yeah, that's what I love also about this, is that group connection. I mean, most of the people that are coming together haven't met each other before. They're meeting for the first time, unless they're retreat participants that have come on other retreats of mine. I get a lot of that. But most of them have not met each other. And I do activities to kind of, not so much team building, but try to get them connected with each other. And at lunchtime, a lot of that happens. And then by the end of the day, folks are giving each other email
Their
addresses
phone numbers
and phone numbers,
sure.
and let's connect. And sometimes even at the end of these retreats, I'll have participants say, okay, so we did this kayaking thing, we did this parasailing thing, will you do something else for us? Which
What
I
can
love.
we tackle next?
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're creating your own support network as well.
Yeah.
People who are familiar with what it is that you're going through, and to be able to work with them or get support
Right.
from them beyond the activity or the
Absolutely.
event that you were going on.
Yep.
So it seems like they vary dramatically in terms of even budget and length. We can find a good variety of those.
For sure, all over the country.
Excellent.
Yes,
And if we
we
want
can.
to, if we want to do some research, where should we look?
If you went to www.retreatcoachnetwork.com, you would find I'm on that network as well as life coaches all across the country. That network is hosted by Coach Helene Van Manen. And if you go to that network, you'll see a calendar. Throughout the year, you're interested in
Take a peek.
check it out
And get
see
it done.
where you want to go.
You
and-
said earlier we were talking. You said that this is the best excuse for a mental health day.
oh yeah,
even during the week.
absolutely, and that's
Take
so
it for yourself.
often. So often, I have people doing that.
Pat,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being here. Of
Hey,
course,
you're
our
welcome.
information is going to be on our website along with your website, and you can check that out.